Stuff, guys, first thing in the morning, and the BCA van has just called to say, or BCA truck has just called to say that he's on his way. It's good they've started calling me an hour before now to make sure I'm here for the delivery. And we've got two more vehicles that I haven't shown you that I bought on the channel. I left some bids on them the other day and won them, so we're looking to see what they look like when they turn up, so you can come along for the ride and let's see what troubles turned up today. I did get the I got the Seat Ibiza ready yesterday, so that's all good to go. It's looking really smart, that really smart. So that one's ready to go, so I am still working my way through the stock, but having sold a couple of cars, I just want to keep the replenishment levels up all the time. I know I haven't got through the last lot yet, but if you can get them at the right price, you just need to keep sort of stockpiling a little bit. Anyway, let's see what happens when they turn up. It's an i10. I kept forgetting what the second car was. It's an i10. An i10 and a Fiesta are in. So, first test is, will they come off the ramps? So we've got them all unloaded, and it's that game again. What's wrong with the BCA cars? So we've got the Fiesta 2009 1.4 titanium, so top of the range one, 59 plate. I can't remember if it's a 2010 or 2009, I'll double check that. And then we've got the 2011 Hyundai i10. I don't think this is better than an Active, isn't it, because it's got the alloys, so I don't quite know what model this one is. So we will split the vid at this point and do a little walk around and video of each, so they're not too long. So first up we'll do the Fiesta. So this Fiesta I got from Bridgewater auction, and I won it for £1,300, which is cheap for a Fiesta in the current market. It has done 107,000 miles on it, but even so, £1,300 is cheap. And it actually has an MOT until November, 22nd of November I think it is. It's got an MOT too, so it's got a long enough MOT to sell as is MOT wise. The thing with the Fiesta is that it's just a tatty one, but it's all things that are entirely fixable. I did actually also buy it slightly because I had a friend that's been looking for a cheap runabout for their son for a while, and I thought this might be getting them into quite a nice car for their money. They only had a budget of a couple of grand, so if I pretty much sell it as is, I can just make a couple £100 out of it and just move it on and help them out. So going through why it's tatty, it's got badly curved alloy here with big chunks out the rubber, so it's definitely going to need a tyre there, possibly an alloy depending on how it drives. We've got to drive it yet. And then coming down this side, it actually seems like it could polish up alright, but we've got some dents in the rear arch here, which again, you've got a choice of whether you do them or not really in this sort of price range. If I sell it as is, by that I mean bodywork as is, you can see from this angle with a bit more light on it, there's a few more dents there. The alloy's curved up a bit as well. Corner of the bumpers is okay though. Some stickers are missing there or something. Like I say, it's a titanium, which I think in the Ford range is the top of the range, isn't it? This rear arch is okay, and this alloy is actually pretty good as well. Down this side it's actually pretty straight. It's only really that dent in the rear quarter and the sort of curbing on the alloys that detracts from the bodywork. I think it'd actually clean up quite smart. When you get inside though, things get a little worse. It is pretty filthy in here, and the seat, well actually I missed that the seat had worn right through the bolster and all the foam was out. Now I've already stuck this on because it offended me immediately. I have this kicking around. It's double-sided felt, so it has a double-sided tape on the back of it, and it's a black felt, and you can just literally quickly stick it over something like this just to tidy it up a little bit. So immediately that's tidied up. Obviously the plan for retail would be get hold of a seat, but if my friend wants it, again, if I'm doing it cheap for him, it'll be sold like this. But obviously, like I say, being the titanium, we've got all the toys. So we have got cruise control, we've got our stereo controls here, we've got Bluetooth phone, auxiliary in, radio CD, heated front screen, heated rear screen, air conditioning. It is the fully loaded up model, isn't it? Absolutely fully loaded up model. The rest of the interior doesn't actually seem bad. Again, it's just a case of a good clean. just good. Clean. The rear seats are good, but they're just dirty, and the passenger seats dirty, but it's good. And this is actually all right apart from that bolster. We just, like I say, you don't need to track down a seat on it. Something's been going on with this here. Seems to work. It's just broken off, but I have got it here. I think that's something I could repair quite easily, but I'm not going to bother on this seat, am I? Because I've replaced the seat, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's have a little look in the boot. Oh, hold on, let's get the keys out. So again, in the boot, we're dirty, but it's all here. And we've got a spare alloy, so we can swap it over. Oh, look. That will need a really good clean. We haven't got any inflation kit in there, that needs to go in there. So a quick look at what paperwork we've got and find out exactly when it was registered. So 11th 2009, that's a shame. Nearly a 2010, it's about as late in 2011 9 as we can get. I've had a look and it's only a 2-owner car as well, so that's quite impressive. The advisories on the last MOT: tyre has a cut not deep enough to reach cords near side front. I'm amazed they passed that tyre, and that's the one where this is, yeah, that's I'm amazed they passed that. Rear axle mountings worn, don't know what they are. Tyre close to legal limit, offside front. So that front corner there, I don't know how they passed it. Why didn't they get? They've MOT'd it with that tyre on. This must have been done for the purposes of the auction, I can only think. That seems to be all the paperwork we've got for it. We have got 2 keys out, which is nice. So we don't have any service history that I've found to date. Let's have a look at the fluids. So pretty filthy underneath here, but the coolant level is where it should be and is a good colour. We've got a Halford's battery on there, which doesn't look like it's massively old. The auxiliary belt looks a bit tired. Oil level on initial inspection is low, but doesn't look an outrageous colour. It's actually quite a good colour, it's just a bit low. So I think we'll pop a little bit more in that before we take it for a spin. Just put a litre in, because obviously we'll do a service on it beforehand. So I guess the next thing is, we haven't driven it anywhere. What's that? That's off a bit as well, isn't it? I haven't driven it anywhere, so the next thing to do is take it for a drive and see if mechanically it's sound, so we can really decide what is the best way forward. So initial impressions before driving are that it is untidy, but seems okay other than that. So this is the game. Comment down below now. You need to decide now, is this a car that's been sold just because cosmetically it's pretty ugly, or are we about to find out a major mechanical problem? So comment down below. That's the game. You can't cheat and fast forward. You've got to comment now, put it down below, and I'll start giving out points for those of you that get it right. So let's go for a spin. Let's get tray plates in and go for a spin. So everyone, let's get going. Started up okay. I forgot to show start. It's idling happily, just over 1,000. So let's go for a little drive. Clutch is engaging, kind of middle to top, in between the two. Not like outrageous at all. Pulls away all right. Got the aircon on full or something. No, let's turn that down. Right, I immediately thought I felt a clunk from that front left-hand corner there. Goes for the gears all right. How are you getting on with your guesses, guys, as to what might be wrong with it? Some of you might already have failed on the basis that I was able to drive out of the yard. Engine seems quiet and smooth enough. I say it goes through the gears fine. No resistance at all in the gearbox. Clutch is good. Guess we need to let it get up to temp and check it isn't overheating, that kind of thing. The coolant bottle looked to me like it wasn't a car that would be overheating. Coolant was a good colour, didn't like someone try to stick something in it to try and hide something. Yeah, it looked all good on that front, so I was happy with that. It does feel like it wants to pull to the left a little bit when it hits a bump. I think I need to get that wheel checked out and the tracking done. Whether I sell it as is or not, I'm going to get that wheel done and get the tracking done, because that's a safety thing. Bodywork's one thing, seats, nasty seats is another thing, but you don't muck around when it comes to the safety side of things. So whether I sell it as is or not, it's going to get a look at with Phil and see what's going on with that front suspension, because maybe I'm just being paranoid due to having seen it and seen it on the MOT reports, but it doesn't seem quite right to me. Mind you, it's steering straight. It's not pulling if I let go of the steering wheel. It seems a smooth enough drive. Could it be that it's just cosmetics? Crazy amount of toys in here, isn't there? I always find that a bit complex though. It's not the kind of thing you really want someone fiddling around with while they're driving, all these buttons here. I just hit that bump there and the suspension actually absorbed it quite nicely. I think perhaps we're alright. I think perhaps we just need to stick a tyre on it. Now I am wondering if, even if my friend doesn't want this as is, whether I should just, because I'm so busy at the moment, sell as is. When I can get a seat into the car, what's that going to cost me? About 100 quid by the time I get a seat, including delivery. I could put a tyre on it, 50 quid. It's already got the MOT on it. Give it a really good clean the engine bay. I could do that rear quarter paint wise. That will be a pain in the bum. That's a horrible one. You've got various different angles to try and get there. So I would be a couple of days into that. So 2 days into that, a day servicing, cleaning, swapping the seat out, 3 days in. I think retail wise it's probably a £3 grand car. I've got 1600 in it with the fees and delivery, one for 1300, 1600 with fees and delivery. So what did I say? I say costs wise, parts wise, I'm in for maybe £200. So I'll be up to 1800, 2 days of work, which I really want to be getting at least £300 out of, don't I? So 2-1, warranty 2-2, the VAT man, let's say another 200, 2-4, end up with £600, £700 out of it, or clean it, put a tyre on it, sell it with all the bodywork and the seat as it is, for say 2,200 maybe. I reckon I could make, after the VAT man, I could make 300 quid, 400 quid out of selling it as it is, kind of thing. So it's only a couple, probably £200 or £300 more profit doing all the work. So is it worth doing or not? Again, comment down below, what do you think? Worth taking the time? What do you reckon the retail price of it is? I think it's probably, with 107 on it, probably a 2995er. But then Fiesta prices are high at the moment. Maybe it's 3195, 3295. In which case, if it's 3295, it's worth doing the work. But comment down below, let me know what you think. So let's get to Phil's and let's pick up the Seat Ibiza, needed the cam belt on, and see if that's resolved the horrible noise we're getting from the engine bay or not. In terms of this drive-wise now, it seems pretty good, guys. I know we probably aren't up to full temperature, but in terms of it driving, it's actually really good. So, if any of you put down it's just cosmetically horrible, then we'll give you 10 Chops Garage points now. Alright? Unless we find out something on later on, in which case you're going to have to have a retractive. But for the moment we're going to go with it's just cosmetically horrible. Righto, let's get to Phil's. So we got the red Seat back from Moore's. I had to pay quite a lot of bills at Moores today. I had the silver seat to pay for, this red seat to pay for the cam belt, and I had some other odds and sods, £900. So I had to go and get myself the best pasties I have come across. Shapland's Butchers in South Molton Square. The meat in there looks amazing as well. I must take some meat home at some point, but they make the best pasties, or they have, I don't know if they make them, the best pasties there, and they're bargain. I think they're like £2.50 or something daft. They're cheap as chips, fantastic pasties. So yeah, I've got to treat myself after paying a massive bill out. There's obviously some VAT to get back off of that, but anyway, the reason for the video is let's start it up, and the noise is gone. That water pump growly horrible noise is gone. Obviously we've done cam belt, water pump, has all been done, so now we just need to get back and tidy the hell out of this thing. Then it's got to go back in for MOT because the driver's door handle doesn't work, does it? And the wing mirror is broken. I want to do those things before I put it back in for MOT, so there's still more money to spend on this. So the two Seats aren't going to be the most profitable cars, but there's quite a lot of interest in them already because they are good looking cars, and whoever buys them is going to end up with cars that have been incredibly well prepped, haven't they? Because the silver one, I'm going to bring that back in and have the cam belt done on that one as well, as we haven't got the history for it. So I'm going to be asking the full book for them, but they're going to have brand new advisory MOTs, and they're going to have new cam belts, water pumps and tensioners. So what more can you ask, guys? So guys, the Ibiza drove back nicely. Like I say, it's just a case of getting around and doing the cosmetics now and sorting out that door handle and the mirror, and then get that up for sale. So for the next video, we'll take a look at the i10. Now you guys know I like an i10, and as a general rule, they're good cars, but we have had a couple of problems with them before. And we know that if we're winning anything at BCA at the moment at a decent price, there's reason to be suspicious. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below so you get a notification for the next video. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up for me, because that does help the algorithm and suggest it to other people. As always, thanks for watching, guys. See you again soon.